So yesterday, at least as of the time of recording, the very hyped, very anticipated PlayStation State of Play finally arrived and gave us 1 hour and 15 minutes of non-stop announcements. As a TLDR, I would say that the whole thing was pretty damn good. It was pretty damn good. There is a lot of fun, a few surprises, and some excitement for some of the games. However, there is some concerns I have and some choice words for a few of the things. So I just want to go over everything that has been announced and give my thoughts about them. So let's get into it. And PlayStation started really strong with an extended gameplay trailer for Marvel's Wolverine. And before we go over it, I just have to say, I am so glad that they're finally giving John Gray the video game appearance that it deserves. What? Okay, jokes aside, they showed up a pretty lengthy trailer, gameplay feature for Marvel's Wolverine, and I just have to say, this game, it looks fun. It looks fun to play. All the jumping, the clawing, the killing enemies, apparently quite a few ways to kill enemies. There's one point that Logan like kicks someone off the roof and then jumps and stabs him in the air, and then he kicks another one into like a forklift and stabs him. The gore is beautiful, unless you are mainstream media. But I would say, I mean, if you're going to make a Wolverine game, you might as well make it very violent. And I think they have delivered. They said that it's going to have a toggle to turn off the gore. I don't know how that is going to work, considering that you have apparently many executions or finishes where Logan simply stabs his claws through their skull of the enemies. So I don't know how they're going to handle it. At the very least, it's not going to have blood on it. Overall, it looks very cinematic, very fast-paced in terms of the combat. And we got a snippet of one of the characters, in this case, Jean Grey, as they mentioned. Jokes aside on the character design, which is a choice. It's fun that you're going to be joined by other characters. At the end of the trailer, you can see Sabretooth and Mystique, which we already knew. Overall, I think the trailer is pretty good. It's pretty damn good. It's coming September 15, and I'm actually pretty excited to play it. I mean, I included it in my video at the beginning of the year of my most anticipated games, and this trailer only gives me more hope and gives me a little bit more hype to actually play it. So I'm looking forward to it. After that, we got a new look at Marvel's Tōkon. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. Fighting Souls, which is a 2D fighting game by Arc System Works. This one is coming on August 6th. It looks pretty damn good. Reminds me of Marvel vs. Capcom. When I saw it for the first time, I assumed it was going to be cheaper, but this is a full price game. It's 70 euros, and it has a meaty Ultimate Edition for 110. I don't know how to feel about the price, but the game looks pretty good. I'm not that much of a fighting game guy, but they're always welcome. Going right along, we got the announcement of Rayman Legends Retold, which is a remake, 3D reimagining of the 2013 platformer. This one launches on October the 1st. It's always fun to have Rayman back. I love those games. And it looks pretty damn good. Okay, there is a few things Ubisoft can do correctly so far. We will see, and that one comes at a reasonable price. So I'm glad that they're bringing it back. This one is a little weird. This is called Bancho the Chef, which is a cooking simulator. It's a spin-off of Dave the Diver, if you have played it, by the same developers. So this follows Bancho in his youth as he becomes a sushi master. I don't know what to think about this, but sure, looks fun, honestly. Now we got something that is pretty cool, which is called Kemuri. So Kemuri, it's apparently an open world game where you play as a yokai hunter as you fight enemies. It's a third-person action game, apparently with co-op up to 3 players. And the trailer, the game looks good, but it's something that I would just skip. Like, oh yeah, sure, it looks good. Maybe I'll try it down the line. But what got me interested is that this is from a relatively new studio called Unseen. This studio was created by Ikumi Nakamura, which you may recognize as an artist for Okami and Bayonetta. in Platinum Games. She was also an artist for Tango Gameworks, which is the former developers of The Evil Within that got shut down. She was also the creative director of Ghostwire Tokyo, a game that I really like. It's a bit rough, the game, but I love the style of the game. So I'm actually interested. She's very good. This one is coming on 2027. No date yet, but we'll see. I'm actually gonna check it out. And right after that, we got a new look at Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, which is a stunning reimagining. No one calls them remakes anymore. It's a remake of the first game, okay? As someone that played the first game back in the day, I think this looks fantastic. I love it. This have already been announced, and we've already seen it. And yeah, I'm all up for it. It's always a good time to replay the old Tomb Raider games. This one is coming on February 12th, 2027. Then we got another new game, The Lost Wild. This is an evasion-based survival horror game where you escape and hide from, well, dinosaurs while you explore some research facilities and stuff like that. I think it looks good. The graphics looks pretty good. I don't really have a lot to say about that. I'm not that much of a horror game player, but I like dinosaurs, so maybe I'll give it a try. This is for 2027. Then we got a quick but sweet trailer for Phantom Blade Zero. In fact, if you watch my video about my most anticipated games of 2026, this was the top one. This is the game I am so hyped for. And the trailer is great. It's very quick, fast-paced, very short. However, it came with the unfortunate news that is being delayed. Phantom Blade Zero was gonna come out on September 8th, but if you have paid attention to the state of play, you know that pretty much everything is coming between August and the end of September, the games that are coming this year. So they have decided to move Phantom Blade Zero to October 28th. I have no problem with a short delay. However, this puts it dangerously close to GTA 6. So if GTA 6 does in fact come, and it's November 19th date. So we'll see how that happens. I am always very excited to see more about Phantom Blade Zero. And right after that, we got a few quick announcements. We got Dune Awakening, which, funnily enough, I've been playing quite a bit lately. I played it when it came out, but I've been replaying it right now. It's coming to PS5, September 22, also with a new single-player mode that apparently you're going to be able to customize like if it was a private server. So I am actually excited for that. We will see. A remaster for Dynasty Warriors 3 with a few new characters. Also, No Rest for the Wicked is coming to PS5 on October, not exact date. And then yet another one I am incredibly excited for. I've been waiting for this for a while. We got a new trailer for Onimusha, Way of the Sword, the new entry in the series, and the first new entry since Dawn of Dreams in 2006. 20 years. Man, I love these games. It is such a great series. The trailer is fantastic, gory, looks difficult, and the absolute best news, well, two of them, is coming on September 25th. Also, there is a demo available right now. I was honestly surprised. So, since Capcom has been knocking it out of the park recently, I have high hopes for this game. I might try the demo later. Maybe I'll make a video, we'll see. But this is one I am very excited. Man, September, it's getting packed. And from that, we go to a game that comes out one day before Onimusha, which is Silent Hill Townfall. This is a standalone spin-off of the franchise, so I don't know what to expect. So essentially what? A shorter game? It's set in 1996 in a fictional town in Scotland. Anyway, I haven't played the Silent Hill 2 remake. I did play the original back in the day, also the first one, despite the fact that I got scared shitless by it. So I don't know if I'm going to try it out or not, but it's coming out on September 24th. Again, it's getting even more packed. Then we got a new trailer for Ace Combat 8, It's coming on October the 2nd. And something very interesting. They announced the pre-orders, and there is some early access to September 29th. If you watch any of my videos, you know how I feel about pre-orders. I just don't pre-order games because it's not worth it, and nothing that you get justify paying in advance for something that could be a shit game. Has happened many times. But for one of the bonuses, one of the things that you get for pre-ordering is a port of Ace Combat Zero, the Balkan War. That one came out for PlayStation 2 on 2006. Now, it's if you're going to get it for free as a pre-order, it's probably just going to be a port with some upscaling. But, I mean, it's better than the usual, which is just a bunch of useless skins or access to a season pass that if you don't like the game or if the game is terrible, was it really worth it? So, I'm guessing, I mean, it's a step on the right direction. You get an old game for free if you pre-order. So I'm not encouraging you to pre-order, but it's better than the norm. And after that, we got something that honestly looks pretty damn fun, which is Stuntman Hollywood. This is it's an arcade action driving game developed by Saber Interactive, where you take the role of a professional movie stunt driver, and you have a lot of licenses in this game. I'm talking about Fast and the Furious, Knight Rider, Back to the Future, Miami Vice. Dude, you even got the music for Back to the Future in the trailer, so that's a lot of licensing fees. Honestly, looks pretty damn fun. You know, mindless fun with iconic vehicles. So I'm actually pretty excited. Hopefully it's not a full price game. I mean, most likely it's not a full price game. I hope not. But with all those licenses, you never know. And I'm actually excited for it. It looks very, very fun. Then we got a game called Ill. I'm guessing that is the word, Ill. The first-person action horror game that looks very, very gory. A lot of body horror, zombie-like creatures. Again, probably not my thing. I'm not the biggest fan of that much gore, but I do love Dead Space. So maybe if he... I don't know. Maybe. But looks good. This one doesn't have a date, but it's coming in 2027. Right after that, we got yet another first-party game, which is Control Resonant. We have already seen this one. While I like the first Control, it didn't blow my mind. I think it's pretty good. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. Might give it a shot. This one looks and feels very different to the original. I'm still not sold. probably not. I am not buying this on day one because, again, September 24th, we have, 3-4 games in that few days. So, yeah, this one, I don't know how to feel. I'm probably just going to wait until it comes out, see what the regular opinion is, because it looks pretty different in the way it plays to the original. So, we'll see. Then we got the trailer for the Season 2 of Marathon called Nightfall. And if you've been eager to try it out, you got a free week starting June the 2nd, all the way to June the 9th. So you can try Marathon fully for free. Also, it's coming at a discount. I saw somewhere that it had a very rocky update. They had to shut down the servers because something broke with the update. So yeah, it's having a rocky launch for Season 2. But still, if you've been eager to try it out, it's free. Man, this is a long stream. How many games have been so far? Right after, we got a bunch of updates for PlayStation Plus, RuneScape, some games coming to PlayStation Plus Classics. Funnily enough, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams is coming to the Classics, so you can play the last game released in 2006 before you play the new one. Right after those, we got one of the big surprises of the stream, Until Dawn 2. A sequel for the 2015 game. Now, this is developed by a different studio, so we will see how it is. I never played the original, I gotta say. Again, horror game, choice-based. Not really my cup of tea, but people seem to really like it, so I'm sure that there is a lot of people excited for it. And finally, we arrive at the last announcement, and the reason the stream was so hyped, the reason the entire thing was made for. We have, for the first time, shown a new God of War game. That's right, a trailer for the newest entry in the series, God of War, Laufey. Now, while I do have some thoughts into many of the aspects of the trailer, let's go over what I think looks good. By the way, this is a 20-minute uninterrupted gameplay of what looks like the beginning of the game. Now, this is not a continuation of the story, and it's not exactly a prequel, it is a parallel story. This game begins at the beginning of God of War 2018, when Kratos and Atreus burn Faye's body. The game starts there, and then her consciousness wakes up in this sort of afterlife, tries to find her way back. Apparently she believes there are going to be some problems in Atreus and Kratos' journey. She moves through the area, she gets captured by two guards, and then we got a look at two new characters. First, we got Begze. I don't know how to pronounce it, who is the Mongolian god of war, or also in Buddhism from Tibet. He's the closest thing to a god of war that you have there. And also at the same time shows Sekhmet. You may recognize her as the Egyptian god of war. So this area that she wakes up in, it's a sort of afterlife for the gods. So I have to say, I think the idea is fantastic. I think it's a fantastic idea to have this place where you can have gods from different mythologies that you're probably not going to visit wholly in an entire series. So you can have gods, because you're not going to make an entire series on Mongolian folklore. I mean, you could, it would be cool, but in reality it won't. Sekhmet, she's probably like a tease, because I'm hoping that someday we got to the Egyptian mythology. So I think the idea behind it is extremely cool. It gives you a ton of interesting possibilities with characters, major and minor. You can have characters of Greek and Norse mythology that haven't showed up and have them here in order to introduce minor characters that maybe you couldn't fit into the main narrative. I think it's a very good idea. Whoever came up with this thought, it deserves a raise, honestly. The idea is fantastic. How it's going to be an execution? I don't know. We need to play the game to know that. Also, the game looks incredible. The production value on this game is through the roof. It is actually insane. The graphics are crazy, from the character models to the scenery to the way the animals and the creatures move. Absolutely amazing. It looks fantastic. Also, the combat. They've said that they have tried to refine the combat of the new series, but mixing it a little bit with combat from the Greek era, so the original trilogy of God of War games. You can clearly see it. It's a much faster game, both in combat and movement. When Faye starts walking, she has a double jump. She seems a lot more agile, a lot faster movement than Kratos, which is within reason. Kratos is a hulking mass of muscle. And the combat seems very fast-paced and very fluid. On a personal level, I was never very interested in Faye as a character. I would say more. In fact, the original God of War, 2018 God of War, made me more curious about Faye as a character than God of War Ragnarok is. And she shows up in it. I mean, in a flashback, but you know what I mean. But it was like, yeah, sure. So I'm not really that interested in the protagonist herself. But I mean, with the possibilities within this world, it can compensate for me. So, game looks fantastic. Apparently, it plays very smoothly. So, there's a lot to like here. However, I seem to have a little bit of a confusion on what this game is. You see, when you look at it as with the protagonist, so Faye, and the setting, which is in an alternate universe, so an afterlife, and with being it's not a prequel, but it's the easiest thing to understand. It's a parallel story, so it transpires at the same time as the events on the North Saga. It all screams it's a spin-off. that stars Faye and how she progresses as Kratos and Atreus are advancing in their own adventure. Okay? And I think that would be very good. But this game, if you look at it, you look at the graphics, you look at the production value, it screams very high budget. This game is likely in the hundreds of millions. Not only that, but this has taken, to be announced, 4 years since the release of God of War Ragnarok. Now, could be 2027. I think that maybe that's their goal, end of 2027. But because they're not sure, they didn't want to put it in 2027. So we might see this in 2028. That would be 6 years after the release of the previous game. What I'm trying to say is, for a spin-off, that would be too long. Usually the idea of a spin-off is to capitalize on the success of the previous franchise while people have the franchise fresh in their minds. 6 years after the release of the previous one, you already want something new, like where the story will lead now, because remember, God of War Ragnarok pretty much ends the North saga. Odin is dead, spoilers. Thor screws up somewhere, he leaves, and it's pretty much over. Same as it was back in the day with God of War 3. No mainline story to tell. So I think the idea of a spin-off was good, but this is the sort of game that you would make like 2, maybe 3 years after the release of the old one, with a shorter experience, a more tight, focused story, so not a 40, 50-hour epic, and for less budget. However, PlayStation, in their announcement in their own Twitter, they said that this is the next mainline God of War title. You see, that creates a problem. And I'm not going to mince words here. God of War, the mainline titles, are Kratos. Kratos is God of War. He is the God of War. He's the titular character. So if you're going to have a mainline title without Kratos, is it really a mainline title? And don't get me wrong, I love the idea of a spin-off game that explains other aspects of the adventure, because I love God of War 2018 and I love God of War Ragnarok, although I believe 2018 is far better than Ragnarok is. I will love more context, more stories around it, but to call it, I mean, most likely this game is going to tie to a future saga, because we have Sekhmet, which is an Egyptian god. So the Egyptian saga could be next, who knows? But it's most likely at the end going to tie in to something that is coming after. So maybe as a bit of a bridge of a game. So again, and I want to make this completely clear, I think it looks fantastic and I think it's going to be very fun to play. Is it going to be really a mainline title that happens at the same time as the other ones and Kratos is not the protagonist? Hell, he's not even there. I'm not sold in that aspect. I mean, if this is a full-length, like 40-hour adventure, I don't know. Seems like a stretch. That is more of my problem conceptually with the game, okay? However, I do also have a little bit of a problem with the game itself. What the fuck is that? No, seriously, what is that? Because to me it looks like a cube made of jelly that talks, and it's called Frank. Seriously, for a moment I had to double check that I was watching a God of War trailer when I saw a talking cube. And it fights. It's jumping around and smashing enemies. Even the boss. Dude, I was watching the boss fight, which I think it looked great, and then suddenly the cube comes rolling from behind and bumps the guy, and I just laughed. I don't think that's the intention of it. Again, I'm not gonna mince words here. I think it looks f***ing stupid. What are we doing? What is this thing? I mean, what is this? Why? Why there is a cube? Allegedly a cosmic cube. And I'm sure there's gonna be an in-game explanation what the cube is, why it talks, where it comes from. And maybe it's a god that was cursed and now it has the form of a cube. The problem is that until that happens in the game, until you get the explanation, and even if the explanation is extremely logical, it's still a jumping, talking cube. that is your upbeat sidekick. Also, okay, tying into that, what is the dialogue? The cube and the sword, but well, the sword ribbons. This is another character, yes, but I have less of a problem with that. But the cube, they talk, and even Faye to some extent, but they talk like they're humans on Earth in 2026. The sort of dialogue that the cube has, maybe it would be hidden if it wasn't a cube, because all I can do is look at the cube and think it looks stupid. I don't know. The moment the cube shows up, I don't know, it took me completely out of the thing I was seeing. It was being a little bit more serious, okay? She was getting beat up by Begze, and then the cube shows up, and you're like, what? All sense of seriousness just went poof, right then and there. At least for me, I don't know. I think it looks incredibly stupid. And by the way, it's voiced by Jack Quaid. All the love for Jack Quaid. I love the guy, but the cube talks like Jack Quaid. Okay, I'm hearing the cube, and the way it speaks, I'm hearing Jack Quaid. Or worse, I'm hearing Huey from The Voice. So I don't know what to make of that. That would be my only gripe with the trailer itself. Okay, I have no problem with the trailer itself. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. The creatures, the graphics, the combat, the scenarios, everything, except the cube. The cube is just, I don't know. I feel it's one of those things that I'm never going to be able to take the game seriously whenever the cube is on screen. Either way, hopefully if he's actually a god that is transformed into the cube, or if it's a different thing, I hope it's fairly soon in the story he stops being a cube. Because in the same way that whoever came up with the God's Afterlife deserves a raise, whoever came out with the cube idea probably doesn't. Anyway, that's a lot of things. Again, I want to make this clear. I think it looks fantastic. And that's the presentation. Honestly, overall, I think it was pretty damn good. The hype was worth it. There was a lot. There were a few little surprises that I thought they were pretty good, like the Stuntman game. Fans of the Until Dawn game are probably screaming right now. 12 years ago. And September is going to be rough for people that want to play more than one of these games. So we will see. Overall, I liked it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments which of these releases were you most excited for, or are you most excited for? And what did you think of the whole thing overall? As always, if you made it to this point, thank you. And you may consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It would really help me a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.